Welcome to the attack action. Probably, at least in combat, the most common, well, other than spellcasting, the most commonly used action. So let's get into it. Welcome everyone to actions in combat. The attack action. Wow, we're finally here. It encompasses everything from fists to swords to bows. It is the only action that is improved by class features, mainly being extra attack. And when you make an attack, under normal circumstances, you choose a single target, and then you apply it to hit modifiers, and then you make an attack roll based off of your own modifier, advantage or disadvantage, class features, and spell features, whether or not you have cover. And after that, the attack is resolved. It either misses or hits, and then you go ahead and roll damage. Now, some people get this confused. The natural 1 being a failure and the natural 20 being an automatic success. This is only technically in attack rolls, not checks. Just thought I'd clarify that. These are both regardless of AC or bonuses. So like even if the enemy if you have like a +5 to hit and the enemy has a 26 AC, not that this would ever happen, this would be a terribly unbalanced encounter if it did, but if you rolled the natural 20 against that creature, you would still hit, regardless if the total would be 25, not 26. So basically, every character has the option of making an unarmed strike, which is just 1 plus your strength modifier for damage. There's 2-weapon fighting, which is where if you're using 2 light weapons or just 2 normal weapons, if you took the dual wielder feat, then you can make an offhand attack as a bonus action with another light weapon in your other hand, but damage does not add your modifier. And this does not work with thrown weapons, unfortunately. But special types of melee attacks include opportunity attacks, which when a hostile creature moves out of your reach, you can use your action to attack them. This technically isn't the attack action, though, since it's a reaction. But in this, they're disengaged or moved by something other than their own movement, or if they teleport, something like that. Another special attack is grappling. This is one of the options in attack action. The target of the grapple must be no more than 1 size larger than you. So remember, if you have a potion of growth or introduce, or like the rune giant size ability, you can get a lot bigger to grapple a lot larger creatures. So basically, you must have like a free, not necessarily a free hand, but a free way of grabbing onto them. So normally this would be a free hand, but if you have, if you're like a Luxodon, you can even use your trunk. A lizard folk can maybe use their teeth. I would say this is almost like a trade-off, because you almost never use natural weapons. But whatever that natural weapon would be, tail, teeth, can be used for grappling. Now, basically, you make a grapple check. You have to make an athletics check. They can make an acrobatics or athletics to try to get out of it. If yours is higher, they are grappled. You automatically see it if they're incapacitated. If they're subjected to the grapple condition, which I've talked about already. And you can also shove as an attack, which is where you basically make the attack action and push them. Again, contested check. If yours is higher, you either push them back 5 feet or prone. Prone is normally better. Again, if you have extra attack, these are just 1 of your attacks. So you can push them prone, and then your other 3 attacks will have advantage, which is wonderful. Or you can even prone grapple, because they have 0 feet movement. They can't get out from prone until they break free from that grapple. There's a ton of fun stuff you can do. Now, like I said earlier, taking the attack action and attacking are different things. Like Booming Blade, that's casting a spell as an action, but you're making an attack. Just as you can cast a spell without being cast a spell action, like a Blade Singer who casts a cantrip in replace of one of their attacks. Also, you know, like, this is like taking the bonus action to hide. It's not technically the hide action. You're just getting the benefits of hide. And it's virtually the same thing. Furthermore, multi-attack isn't the attack action. So if you're like an enemy and you attack, you choose multi-attack, you have to do those attacks that are listed in the multi-attack. You can't replace one of them for like a push or grapple. If you do, that's going to take up your entire attack action, which is one way you can kind of limit your DM if they try to pull something like that. Also, the successive attacks with Vampiric Touch aren't technically the attack action or the cast spell action. They're a special action made by the Vampiric Touch. You can technically hide, surge, cast spell, or even dash outside of combat, but actions like disengage and attack are almost exclusively used in combat unless you make a roll to like slap someone in the face and there's no reason to start initiative. But this is our breakthrough door. Attacking objects is one of the rare cases for that. But this is extremely rare. Now, there is a question of siege weapons, because something like a ballista takes 3 turns to use, 1 to aim, 1 to load, and 1 to fire. I'd roll that only the 3rd action is the attack, because it's debatable, because like you can roll the cast spell action is technically going on each turn you're doing, like if you're setting up a teleportation circle for 1 minute, then you could be technically doing each turn. But I'm going to just go ahead and say it's only the 3rd one, and the others are use an object, which could be like, that's basically what it is, right? Which could be fun for Thief Rogues. Though the attack action is familiar to both new and veteran players, I hope this video provide a new insight on the attack action and maybe give you new ways to think about it in your next game. This is Dodeca Dungeon, signing off.